Wait, Comrade Lante Oriaki. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Hello, Edo people and Nigerians across the world. Top of the moment to you. My name is Comrade Lamte Oreahi, and of course, it is the Comrade Show. This is the segment we call the Comrade and Friends. Quickly, I want to apologize that we are starting this program behind schedule. Of course, we're supposed to have a guest today, a special guest, Barrister OSA director. We've been battling, trying to get the network straight, working around to ensure that we have a smooth broadcast with him. Unfortunately, you know what the Nigerian condition is with things like this. Unfortunately, we are unable to pull through. I understand he uses one of the major networks in Nigeria, but the signal is so poor that we cannot actually pull through with him. And so we decided, having gone like 20 minutes trying and all of that, to reschedule. And hopefully, on the day we shall have him, hopefully, the God of signals will be favorable to us and we have a smooth sail with him. However, the topic was and still is the rule of law and the deepening of democracy in Nigeria. And I'm going to be discussing this topic with the musketeers of the Comrade Show. And they're right here in the house. We've been battling all of this together. But before much ado, let me quickly let you know that we have in the house, as always, Comrade Dr. Tony Agbons. Dr. Agbons, you are welcome to the program, my brother.
Thank you very much, my brother, Comrade Lamte IK. I like the way you shorten your name today, Oriaki. And my brother, pharmacist Austin Iremira. Viewers of the show, I join Comrade Lamte to apologize. In fact, we've been on this in the last 45 minutes trying to sort out the technical issues. So we deeply apologize for these technicalities, but the show must go on. So you are all welcome. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Yes, and the spirit of the show must go on. Austin is here. He's been part of the process. Of course, let me let you know that the man who nicknamed this program the Sunday Tonic, that's talking of a comrade pharmacist Austin Iremira, is in the house. Comrade Iremira, you're welcome to the program, bro.
Thank you so much, my dear brother Komilate Pausa Oriaki and my brother Dr. Tony Agbons. The tonic must actually go on. My special apologies to all of us. As hinted by Comrade Ipaosa, we've been struggling with technical issues. But I believe in next episode, by the grace of God, OSA director will be with us again because we really need him to help us deep in this. But having said that, serious apology once again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. You are welcome to a regular Sunday tonic. God bless you now. Wonderfully.
Thank you very much. The topic is the rule of law and the deepening of democracy in Nigeria. And you recall that for many of us who are conversant with the political temperature in Nigeria, a lot has been happening. It is looking increasingly like every day there's a new story. Just within the last couple of weeks, it was a story about Edo State, internal issues with Edo State PDP, and of course, extending to River State, where the governor of River State, Governor Yeson Wike, and all of that threw some jibes at the governor of Edo State, and of course that dovetailed into the PDP caucus meeting to determine some things, and we're going to be looking at some of those things. But while we were trying to come down from all of that, some days ago, we saw a display of executive slaps at Enugu and at Anambra State in the process of Soludo taking over the mantle of leadership as far as Anambra State is concerned, and of course the story of Bianca Ojukwu, Her Excellency, giving some slap to another excellency, the wife of the outgone executive governor of Anambra State. And while the whole world was trying to settle down with that, the news broke that EFCC has actually arrested former Governor Obiano and all of that. And so a lot has been happening. And all of these, they are part of the democratic process in Nigeria. So we're going to take a look at all of this. But before we zero down into specifics, to start looking at the state of things, and let's not forget that APC is getting close to resolving who their candidate is going to be for the presidential race come 2023. And of course, PDP is still working things out, but the arrow is seriously pointing somewhere in PDP. And while all of that dust is settling down, we have information that the APC, an APC hopeful, as talking of the Jagaba himself, is organizing and bringing old super egos together to come and play a novelty match. And that is bringing some attention into his direction. And a lot is playing out. All of this is part of deepening Nigeria's democracy. Whether it is positive or negative, we shall be taking a look at these. But let me equally let you know that while we are looking at the quagmire embracing the Nigerian political space, there are some things that we are happy to talk about. And I must let you know that we've got some icons whose birthdays are this week. And we want to start by ringing the bells. I am happy to let you know that one of these icons, I'm probably not in the best position to talk about him. He's too huge based on his contributions to media and to entire Nigerian development and all of that. He's having his birthday come this week, and I'd like to pass the baton quickly to my brother, comrade Tony Agbons, to talk about the media guru. Comrade Agbons, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother, Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Yes, talking about the media guru, it's no other person than our father, our big uncle. I always like to use this word. He's a very cerebral, intellectual media czar. We are talking of Uncle Sonny Irabo. He will be 70, very young at 70. This week we are going to enter on the 23rd of March. Uncle Sonny will be 70. Pharmacist Remira, how you see this groove?
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I'm just very happy. If I wasn't science inclined, no doubt I would have taken an interest in broadcasting. And if you grow up around the time I did, Sonny Rabo was a household name. From the old BTV, I think he worked in NTA, and finally EBS. His voice was absolutely encapsulating, quite charming, and he's a perfect gentleman. So surprised. I thought he's just only 60. That is 70 and looking this enigmatic, very supportive, still full of energy, says a lot about the man. And he's ever ready to associate himself with the small, the big, the young, and the old. He is and continues to remain an icon for Edo State. Apart from being very successful in broadcasting, he also dived into politics a little, and he was commissioner for information in the Lucky Millennium era. He hasn't stopped there. He's continuously contributing to society. And even at this old age or young age of 70, the gentleman, I like to call him, a living legend, is still winning awards. He is a blessing to Edo State. My prayer today is that God will give him good health, both of mind and body. He shall grow old to continue to bequeath his wisdom to us, and he shall live long to see his children's children. More grace to his able. Hooray! My dear Sonny Irabo, long may you live. Please pop your champagne and dance Kelele dance. You have earned it. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Pharmacist Remira. Comrade Pharmacist, Uncle Sonny Irabo. Big ask.
To be honest, it's It's a beautiful thing, honestly. I just want to, say a very big, gigantic, ginormous happy birthday to Uncle Sonny Rabo. I remember we had a meeting with him, I think the day before yesterday or so, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, jokingly, Uncle Sonny Rabo says, "Well, I'm just completing 17, my 17th year," and it just crossed over from 16 to 17. And as light as that was, I actually, believe that Uncle Sonny Rabo is not 70 years old. He's just 17 because this man is still very much full of energy, and he does things that these 17-year-olds do and all of that. So I think it's a huge blessing, like coming from Sister Remiran said, that we are alive to see an icon like this be part of us. We're learning from him, the rudiments of how some of these things were, back in the day and all of that. And so I think it's a huge blessing. It's a huge gift. And while we are saying very big happy birthday to, Kusani Rabo, we are honestly thanking God for preserving him, and we know that he's going to celebrate many, many more years. And of course, there are so many people who are in the process of incubation to come into this world. Many of them, by the grace of God, will still, grow up to, of course, get the benefit of being close to somewhere like Uncle Sonny Rabo, who is so much a blessing, always ready to dish out, wisdom, knowledge, always ready to guide, always ready, and he's highly unassuming. When he's interacting with you, you think that you're interacting with age mates, and it's quite a blessing to learn from a man like this. And of course, I think we are honestly honored that I'm very privileged that we are close to this very enigmatic, this iconic, this larger than life figure to very many of us. And of course, his contributions to media development across Nigeria is cannot be overemphasized, to be very honest. And so it's a huge blessing, not just to Edo State, not just to all of us who are privileged to be close to him, but to the entire Nigerian state. Happy birthday once again, Uncle Sonny Rabo. God bless you, and may God grant you long, 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 long life. Over to you, Dr. Agbons.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just before Dr. Agbons take the floor, I just want to borrow his language. I like that. I've been looking for good opportunity. I think Sonny Rabo is a broadcaster polyglot.
A broadcast polyglot.
You see, you nearly jam your tongue now because of borrowing grammar. So I have to charge you grammatic taxation for what you have done.
I will pay anything for Uncle Rabo is worth it.
It's worth it.
Absolutely.
Okay, because of that, I will wipe the tax. Otherwise, you forfeit that. Okay, so I think just to wrap up this birthday, Uncle Sonny, on behalf of the entire board of trustees of the Comrade Show, the entire team here at the Comrade Show, we want to wish you more wins and greater blessings. You will never know a better yesterday, sir. God bless your age. So, also, this week is loaded, though. Another great son of Edo State, our father, Prince Albert Okojie, on the 24th of March, he will be celebrating his 100 years birthday. This is a big one. 100 years, Prince Albert Okojie. For many of our generation, you may not know this. Our father, Prince Okojie, he was very much with Chief Anthony Nahoro, Chief of Bafemi and Wolowo in the days of the Action Group and the UPN. In fact, the movement that bettered the Midwest region, Prince Albert Okojie, they were the foot soldiers, they were the men at the forefront. He's a cerebral politician, a political juggernaut, and he will be 100 years on the 24th of March. So we are also wishing him a very happy birthday. Pharmacist, I come to you again. 100 years. How you see this one?
Wow. Looking at that Papa's picture, I dare want to say that Papa was a rolling stone. And
yes.
Still a rolling stone. The guy looked absolutely take away. I wish this man was in the United Kingdom. He will be getting a telegraph from the Queen, because once you become 100, you get a special telegraph from the Queen. To be born 1922, some 100 years ago. Wow. And he's still looking absolutely radiant. He has played his part in all aspects of life. And like you said, he was in the inner circle of all the politics in Nigeria that led to the eventual Midwest and then Bender State. Papa, my dear Rolling Stone, I say long may you live and you continue to enjoy the goodness and sweetness of what you've done. His full designation is Prince Honorable Albert Okojie, ON. God continue to bless you. You will live long to continue to give us wisdom, and you see your children's children. I know it's a great grant. You will see more, and you will live in good health. May God bless you. I hope the governor will be sending you a telegraph as well, because men like this should and must be celebrated.
Thank you very much. Comrade Lamte, I will give this to you and then we'll continue with the show.
Yes. You know, honestly, it's just in the same line with, celebrating Uncle Sonny Rabon. Of course, everybody is important. There's no doubt about it. But some are just what they are. They are just very iconic and all of that. You know, something struck me when I was reading about,
Prince,
the Prince Okojie, Honorable Okojie. One is that at centenary 100 years centenary. That's not a mean feat. But another thing that caught my attention was that he was an integral part of the process that led to Nigeria's independence. One of those unsung heroes. That's one of those heroes that were there that people, a lot of people don't quite know. And I mean, to a very huge extent, I honestly agree that this man should be celebrated nationally, and the likes of him, not just him, and all of that. And I mean, and again, we are privileged that it's our time that this is happening. We are allowed to witness this. And I can tell you that, there's a whole bundle of experience, immeasurable, that we stand to benefit from Honorable Okojie, member of the Order of the Niger. And I just want to wish him many more years of celebration. And I want to say that thank God, for sparing his life to this day and beyond. And of course, hoping and looking forward to celebrating him even more because of God's divine favor and, of course, for the role he himself has played, towards deepening Nigeria's democracy. Even though those who took after them, they made a mess, they made a consistent mess of the whole process. But we want to thank him and, of course, his own generation and everybody, for their contributions towards, development as far as, Nigeria is concerned. Yes. That is for our daddy, our granddaddy, our great-granddaddy. As a matter of fact, people like this in Benin, they have children, they have grandchildren, they have great-grandchildren. Then they now have great-great-grandchildren. In Benin, we call those ones Abiona. Abiona.
Esakpa Odi.
No, Sakpaudi. Oh, yes, you are right. Sakpaudi there. After Sakpaudi, before Abiona, you are very right.
Yeah.
And for those who may not understand what Abiona means, which is, the depth of philosophy, global philosophy, is rooted in Benin. And that's why I'm going to explain this. It's very philosophical. When a man gets old to a certain stage, he will know his children. He will know the grandchildren. He will know the great-grandchildren. If he's lucky and his head is not degenerated too much, he may know the great-great-great-grandchildren. Beyond there, he won't know them again. And what he starts saying when he sees those other great-great-great-great-grandchildren to the fourth generation, he will be asking, who born this one? Who is the son or daughter of this? And that is what the Benin is called Abiona. Abiona boy. That's how he begins to So, I mean, we are at the age of 100, a little beyond, it's already at the level of Abiona. And so, of course, we want to thank God for the life of, our daddy, Honorable Okojie, and for sparing his life to this day and, of course, beyond. And I would hope that the blessing of longevity will not be one that will be far from us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yes. So, do people Nigerians across the world, we are now going to zero down quickly into the rule of law and the deepening of democracy in Nigeria. I'm going to quickly want to, turn to pharmacist Remira. Pharmacist, let us start from the political temperature from Edo State. Okay, as a microcosm of the larger Nigeria, given what is happening currently, particularly with the PDP, okay, and expanding that to look at what the permutations may be coming to PDP national, choosing who the presidential aspirant is going to be or candidate, if you may, for the PDP, and you may zero that and branch to what's already happening in APC. Let us look at our democracy today. Pharmacist Remira.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lante Baosariaki. That's a big ask, but I will try my best to see if I can do justice to it. Like they say, 7 days is a long time in politics. I was just thinking, was it not just last week, 7 days ago, we were talking about the temperature of Edo State regarding governors and the Governor Obaseki-led administration, and we talked about the statement by the Deputy Governor of Edo State, and that was robustly discussed. Little did we know, I think it was less than 24 hours after our program that we had the outburst or the rebuttal from the Governor of Edo State and the eventual outburst from Wike, the Governor of Rivers State. And that has set another temperature and another barometer for measurement. So Edo State, we can say the temperature is on the horizon, but we need it to come to a reasonable one. The temperature is far over room temperature, and in science, room temperature is just 25 degrees. We need it to come, and we need it to come very fast. I just want to say that in one of the articles written by Dr. Tony Agbons this week, he did call for understanding. He called for what we call in the days of SUG, Mekwelism, because everybody needs to come together. And in that, the PDP national body has got a huge responsibility in their hands. Our governor, Governor Godwin Obaseki, has got a huge responsibility as well in his hands because he is the leader of government, governance, and PDP in the whole of Edo State. And our own Governor Wike should realize that he's a man that is leading a very formidable state, and a state that has a greater stake in Nigeria and, of course, in the South region. There is the need for all of these big wigs and people to come together. Like we always say, politics is for the common man. At the moment, it's only being played at that level. Nobody's holding Governor Obaseki and indeed other governors accountable for failure of governance or for not delivering on what they promised. It's all by themselves, and they continue to just raise this temperature. It is a big lesson. They must come to the table. That, for me, will be what is regarding the issues that are affecting Edo State. So to end that in that aspect, I think they need to come together. Then you ask about the national level. Election is fast approaching. The PDP chairman was in Edo State. We understand that there are negotiations both at local and at the national to get all this resolved. But the big question is, who is going to be the PDP candidate come 2023? There's so much intrigue. We did say, and I did opine, that it will make sense for somebody from the South, specifically the Southeast, to be given a chance. But you asked me that question. Is it possible? What are those in play? Atiku only declared or has been having a series of meetings in the last week. But the barometer is pointing towards him that he may likely clinch the ticket of the PDP. But of course, the PDP cannot have a presidential candidate from the North and also have the national chairman from the north, one may have to give way. We also say that we don't want geriatric leading us anymore. But my brother, Comrade Osa, you will agree with me that it seems that Nigeria state and the ship is heading towards old age. It's very difficult to say. Those coming up from the southeast, to me, are not coming out in full throttle. I don't know if they are still waiting for the national body to zone it to the southeast. But yourself and Dr. Tony Agbons repeatedly mentioned, you have to take things by force. You have to show your face. And like they always say, great philosopher, you prepare yourself for the opportunity. So those from the southwest, from the south, especially from the eastern extraction, should do more. I think, if you ask me, it's not sounding so well from the PDP angle if it will go to the southeast. The PDP are also keeping an eye on APC. As per APC, with their internal wranglings, looking at Governor Boni and others, the barometer simply is pointing to the south, but it's not pointing to the direction that many people want it. It's pointing more to the direction of the southwest. And I will also say that Jagaban, much as we loathe him, much as you say anything about him, I think he's playing his own politics very well, but we never know.
Splendid. Dr. Agbons, splendid. You know, looking at Nigerian political temperature and Nigeria's political template, you know, sometimes it gets confusing when you're discussing Nigerian politics. Today, as we speak, the president of Nigeria is in London on medical vacation. The wife, for ages, has been residing in Dubai, like we understand. Only very recently, some governors in very high some governors' wives in very high display of sycophancy baked a cake for Nigeria from Nigeria to go and celebrate the wife of the president in Dubai. As we speak, some people have described Nigeria as an orphan. At this critical time in question, the first family, nobody is in Nigeria. Nigeria is just running on autopilot. Is this part of the kind of democracy that we bargained for, or should this be the model of democracy that we should run? Particularly when within all of these, our health infrastructure, they are nowhere. Teachers are going on strike on a daily basis. Children are becoming highly half-baked or quarter-baked or one-third baked because of the crisis, rocking education, and so many things going wrong. Is this the kind of democracy that we should run?
Thank you, my brother, for that very loaded question you have thrown at me. And I think Pharmacist Iremira has established some very, very credible facts on the kind of democracy we are practicing in Nigeria. Some weeks ago, I wrote a piece on this symphony of democratic immorality in Nigeria. Nigeria, we have a way of messing things up. They always say Nigerian factor. In democracy, we have started it. Our democracy, it is we are becoming a laughing stock, in the Committee of Nations. Pharmacist Remidan talk about the leadership, geriatric leadership. So we will expect that even as this 2023 is coming, we will be having at least much younger people, being in the forefront and all that. But it is not happening. So the permutations are pointing towards another two geriatric candidates, and it's very sad, and this is why we are where we are. Now, to directly answer the question you asked me of, the kind of governance we are having now, if we start going through it all again, it's like we are just belabeling our talk. We've said it over and over again that the governance we're having now is the system is crumbling. It is nothing to write home about, no matter how anyone look at it. And for me, what we are suffering in Nigeria now is a systemic failure. And I'm going to even record this. Quote me in 2025, 2024, 2026, 2027. God keeping us, all of us, alive. The current system we are operating in Nigeria, no matter who becomes president of our country, nothing is going to work. Read my lips, nothing will work. I'm not a doomsday prophet, but countries that are working, studies have shown, experience have shown, our eyes have seen, they have systems. We don't have a system. And we have talked about, a country that is restructured, a companies that the federating unit, even if we don't want to call it restructuring, the federating unit, they all work at their own pace based on what they can bring to the table. Until we do that, I'm telling you, if we like, we go and bring the best 7 presidents from another country to come and lead Nigeria. It will not work. The system will crumble them. Because other countries are running on autopilot, good one. So that prime minister or president, they just come and go. And their system runs. But we don't have that. So what we have in Nigeria, if I'm to summarize, is a case of systemic failure. And it is unfortunate that 2023 is just about how many months away? 8 months away. And in February, we'll do another election. We are going to continue this cyclical motion without movement. That is where we are. It's unfortunate.
Pharmacist Iramira, 2023, is there hope that things are going to change?
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. Well, like it is said, when there is life, there is hope. Let us hope that within the next 12 months, those at the helm of affairs, those leading our political group, will listen to the voice of reasoning. There is also one aspect that we've forgotten. It's like anybody that eventually gets the ticket, even before the election, has won. And I think that's what Dr. Tony Agbons is trying to say. So does it mean that our elections no longer count? If there are so many people in Nigeria saying that we don't want this, why don't we go and even vote for those we want, even though they don't have enough money to campaign? Because there might be some other groups or some other people in other smaller groups. So I would answer your question to say that there is hope. But the Nigeria population, the Talakawas of Nigeria, the suffering citizens of Nigeria need to stand. And I think if they do, and with this issue of technology being introduced to our electoral process, it may not be business as usual. But like my friend will always say, it is because you are relatively comfortable. Many are hungry in Nigeria, and they are ready to sell their conscience, their vote for a piece of cake, because they have no other alternative. The government and the people and those in affairs know how to manipulate us. I think it was yourself or Tony Agbons that usually say this on this program, that the greatest weapon of your oppressor is your mind. And they fashioned that out very well. PDP, APC remains the biggest party. So likely, any candidate that comes from them will always get massive support from Nigerians, rightly or wrongly. And that is where our problem lies. That is where the hope seems a bit oblivion or a bit bleak. And that is where the hope lies. But like Tony said, the system is not there. You didn't ask me this, but I want to make a comment. There was a video that trended during the week with our own president and 2 governors or 1 governor. When I see those pictures, I cry. We have taken the headquarters of Nigeria to be London. I don't know how people see it. It is sad. And the painful aspect is, for example, should Bola Ahmed Tinubu get the ticket and eventually become president, he has already set a precedent. He came here a few months ago to do a knee surgery. And Buhari has said the precedent.
No, when you mean here, can you be specific? Because
he came to the United Kingdom, London, to do a knee surgery. So, following from Buhari, if he eventually becomes our president, that is a forgotten issue. and we are almost now celebrating it. Somebody once asked me, Ukraine is on fire, almost at the pace of being extinguished. But the president, a dynamic young man, is still in situ in Ukraine fighting. And our leaders are running away. If you see, if you are sick and you come to another country, that country has got everything. If our president is taken out, Nigeria is gone. How can we afford to just say, come for health care? Why don't we carry those personnel to our country and protect our own and shame? But Latte, in the course of General Buhari's retired, being our president, this has become a normancy. In fact, Buni also went to Saudi for the same medical checkup. I also understand a few years ago, Atiku, former vice president for 8 years and former governor somewhere in the north, also went out for medical care. So how will our medical care be improved? So there are so many things, but I think a greater step is 2023. If you ask me, the hope may not be very clear, but so long as we are alive, I think
we keep hope alive. You know, when you were making reference to this issue of medical vacation and of course on Ukraine, honestly, I tell you, if Nigeria was passing through this crisis, I'm sure that the entire political class would have left Nigeria by now, including the president and the vice, and all of them would have left by now.
Oh yes, yeah.
To go seek refuge elsewhere and leave Nigeria for this thing. Dr. Agbons, while we are talking of the political leaders and all of that, does it mean that the followership in Nigeria, we don't have a responsibility to the deepening of democracy in Nigeria?
We have a huge responsibility, and I've been saying this, and people have been castigating me for it. And pharmacist Remiran have said it very clearly. Because if you see the campaign now of one of the presidential hopeful, he's using a lot of youth and young people for his campaign. And like you said in your introduction today, he has even gone to members of the Super Eagles, a lot of them that most of us love, and he's using them for his campaign. And I think he has even used some actors already, some musicians, and these are young people. Young in quotes. And so sometimes you just wonder where, and these are role models in the society. Where do we go from here? It's all because of financial inducement. Until I think Professor Utomi was saying this last week. Look, those who win election in Nigeria, must they come from the APC and PDP? Are the other parties not bringing our candidate? But it's like we don't even look their way. So, but by the time you imagine that if the citizens of Nigeria, we said, these people, since 1999, 22 years now, 23 years, we've tried you people enough. Let us also try another direction. I think things will work, or maybe things may just change. But when you say this, people will listen. But when it comes to election, and they start sharing money, they start sharing a bag of rice, bag of beans, yeah, we know there is poverty in the land and all that. But maybe for a season, let us just, do away with collecting things from these people. Or even, I'm really sorry to say this, even if you collect things from them, but on election, they don't vote for them. That may just turn the table for our nation.
I like to come to Edo State. What is happening in Edo State cannot just be wished away. Talking about the internal crisis with the cabinet, the political party of the governor of Edo State, and of course the role of a Wike and all of that. We hear that the PDP national body, they are trying to look into the matter, but the outburst of Governor Wike has opened up a lot of things that we have now more voices speaking behind the back doors and all of that. One of the accusations out there against this present administration is that the governor has not carried along people who worked with him to realize his second term. There is some very prominent people. And many of them are now beginning to take side with the adversaries of his own, his own government and all of that. Um, Now we cannot independently verify a lot of these things, but we could actually see that there are some people out there who were part of the campaign process, but they are not anywhere near government today. And as a matter of fact, in the crisis, we clearly identified that some of those who joined the government the governor to campaign, and all of that, many of them right now, some of them become direct adversaries right now and all of that. And we are tying this right now to the High Court's decision, Federal High Court decision on the issue of harmonization that the governor has majorly invested so much in. That is a talking point. That's a major thing that's leading to this, to say that the status quo remain, and the High Court is saying that they don't recognize harmonization. All of this happening here and there. Comrade Pharmacist Remira, how do you situate Edo State going to 2024?
Thank you so much, my brother Lamte Bosaraki. I must say that Edo State at the moment is not in a good place. And I like to say this comically by saying that what we are having now is your enemy is your best friend. And like
Can you break that down? Please, break that down.
Your enemy is your best friend.
Okay.
So what is happening, like you said, the governor has got so many people that are working, that are angry, and you have their enemies. So there is not a drift from the governor's part because you want to join your enemy to fight your other enemy. And like you always say in this program, what is it for the benefit of Edo State people? And Dr. Tony Abbas would always say, at the end of the day, leadership lies in the person that has the power of leadership. As it stands now, it is Governor Godwin Obaseki that is the governor, and the buck stop at his tables. Irrespective of all the problems, irrespective of all the troubles, it is only Governor Godwin Obaseki, not me, not you, not Dr. Tony, that can amicably resolve this for the benefit of Edo State. I want to also say, somebody was asking me today in church, you hear of many leaders. Why is it that in current times, we don't hear of these leaders anymore? You talk of Awo, you talk of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Since we started democracy since 1999, can yourself or myself speak of any governor or even president and to say that these are their legacies? It is on this note that I want to passionately appeal to the governor of Edo State. He has just 2 years to change Edo and make Edo a mega city like he promised. Nobody will remember Danobi. Nobody will remember Governor Wike. Nobody will remember Philip Shaibu. Nobody will remember Komilati Oriaki. Nobody will remember me. Nobody will remember Dr. Tony Agbons. All they will remember is that we once had a governor, Governor Obaseki. So in that light, when you have a very sweet vision and you can see that there are distractions here and there, what you must then do is to apply tact, because you want to deliver. You want to look at where you are going to. These troubles will always come because many of them are mischievous. And you agree with me that Wike has not really played a very fantastic role in all this. As governors, nothing stops you from having your secret meetings and telephone calls to iron out your differences. That outburst, in my view, was unnecessary, and it has done more harm than good. And it is we, Edo State people, that will bear the brunt. No matter what happens, harmonization, no harmonization, position, no position. The governor must find a way to get this solved so that his legacy will not be legacies of problems and quarrel, but it will be legacies of infrastructure, of good governance. I mentioned it here before. Governor Baseki, help me pepper them with good governance. Play the politics, but do the good governance. At the moment, we are not getting any, and that is worrisome.
Thank you very much. Dr. Agbons, the issue of harmonization is the centerpiece of all of these issues brewing in Edo State PDP. And within the last few days, we got the notice, the publication that if Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, has ruled that harmonization is not recognized, and the congresses that held, prior to the coming of the governor, we stayed till 2024 uninterrupted. Where do you see harmonization standing late to 2024, given all of this happening?
Thank you very much, my brother. And I thank you, Pharmacist Iremira, for your spot-on analysis on this brewing issue in the Edo State PDP. I have gone to do a lot of checks, a lot of finding out. I've made some phone calls, and I just want to make this very clear to people who are watching this program. The governorship election in Edo State, if you recall, it's a long time ago now. It was in September 2019, if we remember. The governor had that issue in APC, and then he went to the PDP. Within 2 months, the election was done and all that. So the current PDP ESCO in Edo State, came to be in March 2020. And Dr. Tony Aziagbemi became the chairman. This was in March 2020. So, and then the governor was inaugurated, I think the governor was inaugurated a few months before that, I think 5 months earlier, in November of that year. So, and according to the PDP constitution, that ESCO, they will stay for 4 years. So the tenure of this PDP ESCO, led by Tony Azegbemi, has to be in office up to March. The new ESCO will come in March 2024. So, but the governor wants that ESCO, dissolved. And not just the state ESCO, they also have the local government ESCO, the ward ESCO, and the people in the PDP are saying, no, these people have been elected, they have to stay till 2024. So when you listen to all sides of this story, those who already are executive in the Edo State PDP are saying, no way, this ESCO have to remain until March 2024. And that is what the Federal High Court decision has pointed to now. But having said that, I want to also join my brother Austin Iremira to appeal to the Edo State Governor, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki, that the buck stop at your table. So the governor has to, bring his team playing skills to the table. He has to bring his people management skills to the table. And like I have said, I think I also said it last week, whether we like it or not, everything that will happen now, people are pointing fingers and saying, oh, Mr. Governor, you fought with the APC, you had problems there, now you're having problem here. So there's a lot of finger pointing, there's a lot of accusation to the governor. And these are having, what I would say, is not giving the governor a good moral undertone. You understand me now? Because when you have a man, you marry the first wife, you have issue. You marry the second one, you have issue. People will say, iya, that kind of thing. Now only you waka come. So these things, people begin to say it. And we cannot just wave some of these things people are saying away. So in the context of this, I believe that this issue can still be resolved. And like we always say in politics, there are no permanent friends, it's always permanent interest. So the governor have to bring all sides to the table. Everybody have to come to the table, and compromises have to be made. Whether 60-40, 70-30, 49-51, in any which way. So if this executive, like the court have pronounced, I don't think anybody can go against that now. So we are talking about the rule of law today. So we have to stay with the rule of law, the temple of justice. So these people have to stay till March 2024, and then everybody work together. Because sometimes I just look at it as like, if these people have been elected since March 2020, So why do they have to go? Everybody have to find a way to work together. So that is my own argument in this case. The buck stops at the table of His Excellency, the state governor. And talking about the side of the River State governor, Governor Nyesom Wike, whether we like it or not, he is one that he speaks a lot. We all know Governor Wike. He just talk and talk. So but knowing him as well, I still believe that a reapproachment can still be made. We've had other governors, governor of Bauchi State, I think Bala Mohammed, and the governor of Benue State, both of them PDP, Samuel Otom. You saw the fight they also had, and it was resolved. You know, politicians, when they fight in the public space, when they also resolve it, doesn't take time. So this should be resolved. Olive branches have to come, and I believe that our governor, because this thing is happening in Edo State, this is not happening in Rivers. Our governor have to extend the olive branch. Sometimes you can't get it your way all the time. I must tell you this, from all conversations I have been having with both parties, like comrade, you always say, we have our ears and eyes on the ground. People are saying that the governor, you always want to have things his way. So that kind of thing. So you have to sometimes do it in a way that, okay, you win some, you lose some. It's give and take. I think that is what politics is about. But in the general scheme of things, in summarizing, I would say that let everybody have the interest of the common man and the common woman at heart. I want to be hearing arguments about how to build hospitals, how to build schools, and other things, good roads, electricity. Those are the things we want to be hearing more, not all these small infightings.
Yes, thank you very much, my brother, Dr. Agbons. Just to quickly let everybody know, I have been very much inundated with calls from people across the world telling me that the governor of Edo State is ceding 20% of Edo State land to Fulani herdsmen. People have been calling to say this is what they are hearing and all of that. Some people went ahead to say that the Edo State House of Assembly has passed the law enabling Ruga, enabling the government of Edo State to give 20% of Edo State land to the headsmen or to headers, as it were. I just want to say, from here, that we cannot independently verify this information. However, we are making effort right now to get the Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly to come talk to us and, of course, Edo people on the state of things with this bill on, this headers issue and all of that. Because I do know the internet of afar, the social media space, carry a lot of information. Sometimes when you verify them in depth, you find out that some of them may not be as accurate as they ought to be. And so I want to say for our teaming followers that we are trying to investigate this matter to really know exactly what the truth is in the matter. And as soon as we know the truth, the rest of it, we're going to talk about it. Not just talk about it, we want to get the authorities to come and talk about it so that we know exactly what these issues are. And we are not afraid to air our views and let everybody know what we think is best for Edo State. Like I always say, if governance is not about the people of Edo State, as far as Edo State is concerned, then there should be no government. Okay, and we all must work, and for those who just capture, some information here and there, and it is all breaking down, bring the government down syndrome. I think we must fashion a different way forward, of going about some of these things and all of that. I think we all have, huge, stakes in this whole process of governance in Edo State. And so if we find anything that is not people oriented and that we need to talk about, we talk about it, we push the buttons we need to push, influence what we need to influence to ensure that, policies of government, they work for the people, best in the interest of the people and all of that. So I just want to say that we are not making any statement concerning that at the moment because we are doing our findings and of course we are working hard to bring the authority to come and talk about it. The other one that I woke up to this morning that some other people are calling me for, I don't have any information yet on that one, is that people are alleging that the Edo State government has, is tasking, the what's it called, bus transporters, commercial drivers, and all of that. They're asking them to pay huge amount of money to use the newly constructed, transit station park and all of that. And so I don't have any information on that, but we want to equally investigate that and of course look at what the situation is. Somebody called me and said that they said bus drivers are asked to pay 2,000 naira daily, to have access to that particular a facility. To use that facility, that every bus driver has to pay 2,000 naira. What should that be? And so to that extent, people are even calling for protests to join with the issue of 20% of Edo State land to Fulani herdsmen and all of that. So there's so much, People are bringing so much emotions into the matter, trying to, and all of that. So the person who spoke with me, I think some person have called me. Some people called me to a live broadcast. Another person called me. When the other person was talking to me, I told the person, I said, well, if the government is charging 2,000 naira, I don't know, have any information yet, but I'm just speaking modestly. If the government is charging 2,000 naira, and that is an issue, I will be very concerned if that is actually true, the true position. Because just this, about 3 days ago, okay, somebody, person will send a message from New Benin to Oluku, paid 500 naira. Which means that for that one trip, if there are 10 passengers in that bus, okay, for just that one trip, that bus driver is collecting 5,000 naira. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying, Dr. Agbons.
Yeah.
500 naira for one trip. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? I think it is speaking to how devalued our Nigerian currency is already. I sent people to the market, okay, for small agolo of pepper. It was selling for about 500 naira. Small agolo of pepper. So if government is saying that bus drivers will be paying 2,000 naira a day, they will probably need to find out what is the average pay that, commercial bus drivers, are getting on a daily basis. And you understand what I'm saying now? Before we become very emotional about this. But on our part, we will investigate and we will look at what the situation is. And of course, we're going to make a statement about it. Dr. Agbons, I don't know whether you have anything to say, but I just want to give this information out.
You said it all, my brother. And I also want to, just thank most of our viewers who always, we are here because of you all. Please, let's be very civil. I've been looking at some, and some people, they don't use their real names and they come to platforms like this and they just want to abuse people. I've seen some. I think some of them, we may likely remove them from this platform. You have to be civil.
If you know them, just let us know their name. We remove them. We even ban them from the page if it's possible.
Terry G. Johnson. That name, I don't know if it's his name. Some of the messages he's been putting out, and people have been trying to let him know. So if you have a message, just put a message. You don't have to be insulting people. It is not right. So if there's something bring it to the public space. Everybody will look at it. So the fact that you got to know of something first does not mean that you are the champion of the universe. Nobody is a champion. So so you don't just come and insult other people, other viewers, and all that. So it takes a lot to prepare for programs like this. A lot going beyond the scene throughout the week. So, but big thank you to all our viewers. Like Comrade have said, when things like this are brought out, we find out, because it's not everything you see on social media you just forward and start talking about. We have to protect the integrity and credibility of our program. Thank you very much, Comrade.
Yeah.
Yes, over to you, Dr.
I just want to add something to the issue we've been discussed. Thanks to our viewers for letting us know. I just want to ask one question, Comrade. Even though this is coming to our show, it's been trending. What is happening to the information department of Edo State government? Why are they not trying to be very responsive to let the people know quickly? Because when this is done pretty fast, instead of douse tension and prevent that vacuum. I think the Ministry of Information and Orientation and those managing media for the government sometimes should always be quick to offer some form of answers and respite and probably calmness to the teeming people. Because when the vacuum is left there, people just take it and this information continue to trend.
Former Sister Remira, honestly, I will call out the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mr. Barrister Adaze Emata, Honorable Adaze Emata. We have asked him to come on this program, to come and speak to Edo people. I hope he responds to that. And of course, like you said, the reason sometimes why we are doing this is because whether you like it or not, we have people who follow this program, follow the platform. They listen to what we say, and we want to ensure that they get the right information at all time. And I think that Adaze Amata should respond to the official letter he has before him, to of course come and let us know some of these things, because like you said, there is so much information lacuna as far as Edo State is concerned. It was there before the governor appointed commissioners. Now that the government has appointed commissioners and all of that, and people are still having a lot of information gap here and there, with speculations brewing everywhere around Edo State. It is not very palatable. It is not at all. But we will, politely, make this public. I'm sure after this program, I'm going to give a ring to Adaze Mata, probably see if I can fix it there with him, so that we can, of course, look at some of these things as much as possible. It's important. Every, appointed officer of government must respond to the call of Edo State people and let Edo people know exactly what the position is, because we cannot be thriving on what people are spreading on social media. You understand what I'm saying now? Yeah, them say, somebody say. So the last one who called me today over these issues, okay, has nothing to refer to other than say, somebody tell me. I hear that from one person platform, and I've received barrage of messages say they want to give 20% of Edo State land to Fulani herdsmen. Now, and I'm not going to lie, I don't have a complete information on that particular matter. I know that there's a bill in the House of Assembly by the government of Edo State, and that bill came having consulted widely, according to the governor, with stakeholders over the issue of this ban on open grazing. And the government wishes to now look at what is going to be workable for all stakeholders. That was what I knew then. To what extent the House of Assembly has gone to passing that bill, and what clauses may have been brought into that bill, I don't know at the moment. And this again is one of the reasons why we want to engage with the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly. Sometimes Edo people, even before the bills they go through their first and second reading and they are passed into law, some of these bills need to be published, put on the public space for Edo people to see. You understand what I'm saying? Now begin to make their input even while the process of lawmaking is ongoing and all of that. So, but I believe that in the coming days we are going to get to talk to the Speaker and all of that. And for us, we are dispassionate about the affairs of Edo State, and we continue that trajectory. Somebody called today, was accusing me that I supported the governor of Edo State, and I said I owe no apology for that. And I've said this publicly. If the election, okay, is held again today under the same circumstances, I will still support the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki. And that is not to say that governance under his administration has been perfect. As a matter of fact, he did not meet London. There were governors who were there before and all of that. All we are striving for is to work with this man to bring out the best in Edo State. There are things that many of us don't agree with. And we are not afraid to say that we don't agree with this and we don't agree with that. And I'm sure that wherever the governor is and is listening to us right now, he would respect us, because we are not political shoe shiners. Our support is not predicated on any individual. Our support is predicated on making Edo a better place for all of us. And so I think that is the position. So on the issue of this anti-grazing bill and all of that, we are going to look at it into two, and there is no better person we are going to bring here to help us, make sense of it all than the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly. Hopefully we get him and bring him on. Yes, over to you, Dr. Agbons.
Yeah, thank you very much, comrade, for that. You are very well spoken. So we're going to look at very quickly a trending issue, which is the inauguration of the new governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Chukwuma Charles Soludo, the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He's been trying for this office for over 12 years. Finally, he got his hands on it this week. Pharmacist Remira, Charles Chukwuma Soludo, a new breed, Anambra governor. What do you have to say, my brother?
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. Not just a new breed, a technocrat. I hope and pray that Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who has come into this office highly, highly favored, well endowed, and seems to be in grip with the situation, will be able to deliver for India Anambra and also set a record for himself and probably a template for other states to emulate, if not Nigeria. I congratulate him for his victory and for the swearing in. Please, in 4 years' time, I want to stand to say yes, the right decision was made. And that will take me straight to talk about his inauguration, which has been causing lots of news and trending on the social media. I must congratulate him because of the way he has started. He did say and promise that he wanted the program to be a low-key. And he also started by ensuring that himself and the deputy put on simple, traditional Indian Anambra clothing. And they did that. He has also started by saying that he's going to endorse every aspect of his government to use the Nigeria car.
Made in Nigeria.
To me, that is heartwarming. That is good. And I also listened to his speech. If you follow through on that speech, my brother Tony, Anambra will be an entirely different place. Like it's always said, Anambra has been blessed with technocrats from Governor Peter Obi to Governor Obaino, and now we are going to have Professor Chukwuma Soludo. Although some would also answer that Governor Obiano seemed not to have lived up to the expectation, but his story now, tomorrow, from today tomorrow, is now Chukwuma Soludo. He has to deliver. He has no option but to deliver. He should use his wealth of experience, his connection, his everything to help develop Anambra State. I also like the decision he took when he said immediately after his inauguration, he's going to proceed to a very notorious area in the state. I want to see how he can turn that to something different. I think that's very important. Anambra State is a state that have multi-millionaires. Business is trending. We should see really powerful IGRO, buildings giving money to the state. Innovation. The East is the fulcrum of innovation. And if we have a technocrat there with Anambra and the River Niger, really, there is so much expectation from this governor. I pray he delivers. I hope he delivers. And I'm looking forward to seriously deliverable. And like I advised Governor Gordon Obaseki, I want to advise him again. Prepare anybody in opposition with good governance and make ABGA be a true example of what political party should be. A lot is in his shoulders. But like you say, when you are called to office, you know your responsibility. Please diligently do that. It's over 72 hours now. I have not heard any information about commissioners. He promised he was going to do that within 1 week. So there are still a few more days left. Hopefully we'll get more information in the days ahead, starting from tomorrow. So I want to congratulate him. And I like all the stance he has taken in his first day of office following his inauguration. I don't know if you want me to leave this table for Comrade Lamptey to comment, or you want
we are coming to that.
or you want me to very much. Notable slap.
Thank you very much, pharmacist. I think you've said everything, and the comrade, because of time, comrade may not even have time to go over that. So I think, comrade, another thing happened at the inauguration with all the powerful speeches, the colorful ceremony, the India Anambra food and wine and everything, palm wine. In fact, that one was in my eye that day. Something has happened, comrade. I want you to break the ice on that one because we are in a new season now.
Yeah, my brother. To be honest, I don't think it's a palatable one. It's not palatable. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. What's it called? Prime newsworthy at all. It's an unfortunate development that the outgoing or the outgone first lady received an embarrassing slap from another, first lady in her own right. I was talking of the widow of the Nigerian
Ikemba.
warlord.
Yeah.
He came by himself. I'm talking of Bianca Ojukwu. And when we dug deep to try to look at what had happened, it's unfortunate. Well, I saw the video. The former first lady, the wife of Obiano, moved from her seat. Apparently, we are looking at more than 6 meters apart, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and just moved on to where Bianca was sitting, and the next thing, argument ensued from there, and Bianca rose and gave her a dirty slap. And many people have said that it was. I mean, she deserved it. And looking at her, for those who know her, the people have complained that all through the tenure of her husband as the governor of Edo State, she was a very
Anambra. Anambra.
I'll be afraid Anambra State, Edo State, she was a very overbearing, person. People didn't like her much because of her attitude and all of that. And so many people celebrated the slap, as it were, and all that. But overall, I think it was a very disgraceful outing, particularly looking at the occasion itself. Occasion that was bringing about the inauguration of an incoming governor and all of that. And so it was hugely embarrassing. But just not to end this matter without talking about Solo, I can tell you, my brother, even though you didn't ask me to go on Solo matter, I tell you, I'm already impressed by this man, honestly. I'm already impressed by him. Now, if he's going to live by what he has promised, okay, that remains to be seen. The man is purely pro Anambra State, pro the indigenous of Anambra State and all of that, pro everything Anambra State or pro Igbo and all. And I think that's a good thing. Pro Nigeria. He has approved that the official vehicles of Anambra State government will be from IVM. That's talking of the Nigerian indigenous, vehicle car maker and vehicle maker and all of that. I think that's a beautiful thing. But what impressed me even the most is when he said that in a week he's going to appoint his commissioners. I think that is super impressive, because if you look at it, just opposing that against what we actually experience in Edo State, we cannot be proud of what we experienced in Edo State, that it took nearly 1 year, if not more, or so, or thereabout, for us to have commissioners in Edo State under the same political kind of whatever structure. Another governor is coming to say, "Man, in a week are we?" And I'm waiting for him to get that through. If he does that, get that through, I'm sure that there should be a topic dedicated to that on another day. Because what we have seen by way of this appointment matter with the governor of Edo State, okay, give whatever may have happened that we may not know from the public space and all of that. I think that we need to weave our own story around it to ensure that it doesn't repeat itself. You understand what I'm saying? That particularly looking at the future of Edo State. When you are elected a governor, you have been sworn in, you have every moral right to quickly ensure that your cabinet is in place, irrespective of whatever is happening. Now that we have seen Governor Baseki gone through the process nearly 1 year or about 1 year before appointing his cabinet. In fact, the appointment is still ongoing now. Just a few days ago, another commissioner was confirmed by the House of Assembly and all of that. I think that already is a template for political immorality at that level. You understand it for the future. Except, of course, we have a bill to the National Assembly, that we pass to say when you are elected, as a governor, as an executive officer, you have a period, a window like this to ensure that your cabinet is in place. Otherwise, you lose your seat. So I think we need to have a thing like that in place so that we don't have, such things. But I think that of Soludo right now, promising 1 week cabinet ready is exemplary, is something that we must talk about and celebrate so that others who will govern tomorrow will understand that, it is something that needs to be done as much as quickly as can be. That's my take, my brother.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lante Kwanza. Pharmacist, before I come to you, just to tee off the comrade, in the recent constitutional amendment that both the House of Representatives and the Senate they've just done, B number 45, as approved, I'm going to read this. An act to require the president or governors to submit the names of persons nominated as ministers or commissioners within 30 days of taking the oath of office for confirmation by the Senate or State House of Assembly and for related matters. It was unanimously approved by the Senate, and pending presidential approval is going to be law. So that leeway that governors and president used to have to delay appointment of commissioners is not going to happen again. But kudos to Governor Chukwuma Soludo for saying that within a week, because you have to hit the ground running. There's no time to waste. Pharmacists, we are rounding up now. What do you have to say on the slapper and the slappy matter? I know you must say something, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I just want to ask, on that bill, did you say 30 days?
Yeah, within 30 days.
We are still not there. I weep, really. In the United Kingdom, as soon as you take position, that same day.
Let's start from somewhere. My brother, you are very harsh. Let's start from somewhere.
Pharmacist, I think it's all right. But if you look at it, the UK practiced a parliamentary system of government. Where they have a shadow, what's it called, administration. Yeah. So when you become a prime minister, your shadow immediately moves in, and it's a collective responsibility. You understand what I'm saying now? So it's different from our presidential kind of system. So I think 30 days is a good window, given all the political nuances and all of that they have to, romance with and all of that to get this done. So I think it's reasonable in 30 days. If you look at the American system that we take after, more or less in a way. The entire cabinet is not in place in one day. When the president is elected, before inauguration, they name their chief of staff first.
Yeah.
After inauguration, then they start filling in.
Yeah, Secretary of State,
Secretary of State coming, and every other thing starts coming in and all of that. So, but out of UK is different because the government is already in place even before election is done.
I bow to the superior wisdom of two of you. 2 over 3 is a pass mark anywhere. Your patriotism to Nigeria is not in doubt. God bless you, my brothers. Talking about the slap, I think it's a show of shame. Comrade has talked about it. Many people are happy. My problem is just the implication for the girl child and the girl child politics. Some people have argued that women don't like themselves, and that's what we see. And that's what you see trending. What will their children do? Whatever area you stand, the act of fighting in the public space, in that environment, by 2 mothers doesn't really all go well. I hope and pray it never repeats itself again. Just before I came on board, I was reading that was not the first time it's happening. It happened many years ago. But I can't verify that now, so I don't want to put it on public space. But overall, it was a very, very unwarranted distraction to that very good inauguration. I look forward to reading apologies from the 2 ladies. That will be my take.
Thank you very much. I think that apology is very necessary because it was really a show of shame and public disgrace. 2 wrongs, they say, cannot make a right. Mrs. Obaino, traveling from Sokoto to Fakados to go and meet Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu was not good. And then the slap happening was we can't say 2 wrongs do not make a right. They could have done it better. And I also want to say this, and you have just stated something. To was not a good spectacle for our women folk. Secondly, the former governor's wife also showed disrespect to single women all over Nigeria. Some women are single not because they want to. So, from reports I have even heard from some friends who come from Anambra State, some derogatory words that
Yeah.
Mrs. Obano used on Madam Bianca. They shouldn't be. So it was not her fault that her husband passed on, and she's been single. So it's not every single woman that is you know that are doing some things and all that. I don't want to use some words publicly. So, like you said, it is a show of shame. We hope it does.
It's sure.
Apology, public apology from both sides, very well tendered one, will be really, really necessary. So they cannot say because they are too highly placed women. And then, if in some other societies, like if in the US, Europe, UK, in fact, they will be taken to court for public order offense, because that was a public order offense, fighting
Absolutely.
publicly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And no one will be spared.
Exactly.
They can even do community service for that. So
Exactly.
thank you very much, my brothers, for this analysis. So back to you, Comrade Lante.
Yes, just by way of a quick information on the issue of Obiano was arrested, same day. He was traveling out of the report says that was traveling out of Nigeria to the US, and he was arrested by the EFCC. And shortly after his arrest, he was taken into custody in Abuja. Somebody was asking if we have recent information on him. Yeah, for today, we do not know, but as at I think 48 hours ago, he was still very much in the custody of EFCC. Of course, reports have come out that he's being squeezed right now for embezzling money to the tune of about 46 billion naira and all of that. And so people are bringing out a lot of information. So we don't have a holistic report on this, but as soon as we do, we definitely we share. But I want to quickly say that it is not the first time it is happening. So let's not sing too much hallelujah. There have been governors in the past that were arrested immediately after they lose their immunity, and days after they are walking about like you and I. And as a matter of fact, in the next election window, some of them find themselves in the Senate. You understand what I'm saying? And so we've seen this kind of a drama before by EFCC to make it look like we are working. At the end of the day, we don't have any governor in prison, ex-governor in prison because of corruption, because of embezzlement of state funds. So until we start seeing that, governors being arrested because they've been proven to have embezzled state funds and they are jailed for life or jailed for the terms that the law provides and all of that when we are beginning to have faith that you arrest an ex-governor and all of that it's really not too much that we are going to sing hallelujah about. You understand what I'm saying? But it's been happening before. And not just as governor, they arrest people and the next day they leave some. And it's only a few cases we see some people, they get arrested, they really go down. Some of them are not even political people, they are, other this thing. But it remains to be seen what happens to Obiano's case. If it's proven that Obiano has embezzled for the something billion, as it's been alleged, and it's flying all around, we hope that the FCC will do a proper job and, of course, prosecute him. And the same thing should go to all others. And I think that the issue of immunity is hard time that just should begin to take this matter seriously. Political office should not guarantee immunity at any level. I think it's hard time we start looking at this because if somebody does not have immunity and they are stealing 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, 5 billion, 20 billion, probably EFCC can swoop in on that person and begin to challenge the process. And the person doesn't steal more than to wait because of immunity until he finishes. Probably wreck the entire state before you arrest him.
8
You
years.
understand? And for 8 years because of immunity. So, I mean, it's all part of this issue of deepening Nigeria's democracy that we have still not gotten right. Anyhow. Anyway, Nigerians across the world, greetings to you all. It's been a comrade show, and we are grateful to everybody who is supporting us, the people who are helping us spread the news. Please, we are there. Help share this broadcast. It's one of the ways we try to reach out to as many people as possible. And of course, I've been having a chat with the team. We've been doing this together. And of course, for those of you who have been putting out comments and all of that, you'll be part of the process. We are grateful to you. Yes. I want to say, Dr. Agbons, I want to thank you very much for helping to anchor this program. Dr. Agbons.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you also much, all our viewers. Thanks for sticking with us, and sincere apologies for our advertised guest today. That we had that technical internet problem. We have rescheduled. He has agreed. He will be here, and we will let you know. Have a beautiful week. God bless you all.
Yes, my brother. Over to you, Pharmacist Iremira. Thanks very much, bro, for helping to anchor this program.
Thank you so much, Comrade Bausa CNC, and thank you, Dr. Tony Agbons. It's always a pleasure to be in your company. In fact, I've enjoyed your company for 2 days on the trot, and I continue to savor it. To our teaming supporters, friends of the Comrade Show, I want to say, join Dr. Tony Agbons to apologize profusely. We hope and pray that Barrister OSA Director will join us very soon, because he really needs to come and talk to us and help us deepen democracy. Thank you so much for staying with us. Have a very beautiful week, and please let all form of slap stop. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you very much. All forms of slap should stop. Yes, forthwith. So, Edo people, Nigerians across the world, thank you very much for staying with us. My name is Comrade Lamte Monsari, and it's been the Comrade and Friends on the Comrade Show. While we are saying goodbye for this segment right now, we want to say once again, very big congratulations to Honorable Okojie on his 100th birthday that is coming up this week.
Papa Rolling Stone.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. And we want to congratulate our very dear brother, icon, a media guru. Talking of Uncle Sonny Rabo, who is going to be 70 years old this week as well. And of course, we congratulate Governor Soludo to taking over as the governor of Anambra State, and we wish him well. And of course, we are watching him and hoping that he, of course, follow through with the things his manifesto and the things he's promised to do as a governor. They are very lofty. On that note, my people, we'll see you again when we see you. And I want to say bye for now.
Comrade Show, wait, Comrade Lamte Oriakhi. This is the Comrade Show.